So when you look at those particular given features, QuickBooks, we said, is just an accounting software that is used to combine a variety of accounting programs into one user understandable language. So that's why we said when you want to open QuickBooks, you need first to understand how to create a company. So here are some of the procedures that you need to follow when you are creating this particular given company. And the procedure first, we said for you to be able to open that particular given company, you'll go and click file. When you click file, some features that will be seen is create new company. So when you click create new company is when you'll be able to see this particular given dialog box. And the dialog box there, it is showing you how you can be able to create this particular given company. So that's why we have company, we have legal, we have street address, we have city, we have postcode, we have phone, we have business. So that's, it tells you if you have the name of the company, for example, you can be able to do it, to type the name of the company as maybe Juliet, as an example, Juliet, maybe ICT solution, Juliet ICT solution. So if you are dealing with the Juliet ICT solution, legal name, you can just write the initial of that particular given company, which we were saying we have Juliet, then ICT is I. So you put I, then we have a S. This is the initial of that particular given company. Then when you look at street address, mostly it's just an address. So you can just write the beer box maybe 15 or 12 -00900 900. That's the address. Still, if you don't want to put that particular given 0900, you can easily assign under what? The postcode here. Are you seeing something like postcode? Postcode yes. After city. Yeah, that postcode you can still also copy the postcode there. Then when you copy, let us say an example, we wrote PO box maybe 12. So this particular given 12, you can be able to do it, to put the postcode 00900 here, and under the postcode here, we have our postcode, you put 0900 there. Then we have city. City, you can say Nairobi. When you say Nairobi, now you can be able to do it. To put the county also you can say Nairobi as an example. So when you put Nairobi, we have phone. Phone, maybe you want to put the phone of what your business is doing. For example, it is 07 05 120 709. That phone is mine, but I'm just using it as an example. We have fax code also you can indicate, but if it's not there, you leave it blank. We have country. When you look at country here, we have different types of countries, but now since the program is designed for UK, you can just leave it there. Then we have business. Then we have email address. For example, if I just use mine, it will be Bernard Wesonga9 at gmail.com. Gmail.com. So if you write Bernard Wesonga9 at gmail.com, it will be able to insert that particular given Gmail. When we talk of website, maybe for example, you can say www. As an example, we can say maybe Bernard.co.ke. Then www.bernard.co.ke. So when you look at those particular given features, they are the most features that are needed in this particular given program. So when you look at those particular given features, after that process of filling, you can be able to click next. When you click next, now it will take you to the next interview where you need to follow other information. So when you look at this particular given detail now, it will specify, like here, when you look at the first title, which is select your industry. So the industry that you are focusing on, for example, if you are dealing with the ICT things, you can be able to choose ICT information here. So you look for the industries that you are mostly interested. For example, when you look at this particular given industry, the first one is accounting and booking. We have advertising and public relation. We have agriculture, farming, or forestry. We have art and writing. So from this particular given industry, you can be able to scroll down. You look for the most preferred industry that you want to work with if you are dealing with this particular given scenario. So since our company is mostly measuring on ICT solution, we can choose now information, technology, and computer, softwares, and so on. So you just click. Yeah. Are you seeing it? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. We have information, technology, which we have computer and software. So industry mostly it normally specify the type of business that you want to involve in. So if you want to involve in hair salon, it's when you select hair salon. If you want to involve in hotel, it's when you select what? Hotel and restaurant. But from this particular given scenario, we are working with ICT. So we have just selected what? Information technology, which is computer and software. Then from there now, once they are done, after selecting now, you can click what? Next. When you click next, we have also the types of business here that you need to be able to involve in. When you look at sole proprietor, sole trader here, when you look at this particular given sole trader, from the word sole is mostly preferred for one person. It's a type of business that is managed by one person. Then when you look at partnership, it's a type of business that is managed by two or what? More partners, which join together to come up with a business. We have a company, mostly company limited liability or unlimited. This one is a type of business that provides what? Limited liability to its owner. We have then non-profit. Non-profit, these are type of organization that have been set up, but they don't do what? They don't collect money from people. What they need to do is to come up with a strategy in which they can be able to make money without any what? Members involving in to pay. So we normally have those particular given types of non-profit organization in Kenya, like we have Red Cross. When you look at Red Cross, mostly it's a type of organization that involve in business, but in real sense, they don't do it. They don't involve money, transaction of money from one party to another. What they normally do, for them to make money, they can either involve users registration. If a member subscribe, that particular given subscription is the way they can collect money. Then we have also donors from outside. They make money also from donors from what? Outside the country. Or if people are willing to join, they can be able to support them by giving them funds to run the organization. Then we have others. These are things that you can be able to include. If it's not existing here now, you can be able to do it, to include those particular given things if they are not in this particular given category. So for example, in our case here, we can just choose what? Company, hyphen, limited liability or unlimited. So when you select it now, is when you'll be able to do it, to understand this type of company that you are trying to open is for limited category. Are you okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So once they are done now, you can now just click what? Next. When you click next now, it will have to ask you, select the first month of your financial year. The first month of the financial year is the month that you want to start the business. So every business in different organization, they have their own financial year in which they can be able to start running the business. So from here now, since we are on July, we can just select July as our first financial year. But still, you can start with January, you can still start with February, you can still start with what? March, depending with the time that you want to open the business. So once you are done here, now you can click next. When you click next, sometimes you can be able to assign a password. That's why we have set your administrator password. This set your administrator password, mostly in this case, you can be able to set your password here. So some scenarios, if you are working in a company, maybe you are not trusted or you don't trust the people that are there, is when you can be able to assign a password. So you type the password and then also you do it. You confirm the password so that you can be able to save. So the purpose of the password is just only to restrict unauthorized personnel from these files being accessed. But if you live without a password, it will make people whom you are working with, they can easily access your files. So from this particular given case, you can be able to come and click next. Because we are just showing this one as an example, but we can still assign a password if you are working in an organization where you don't trust people. Some people can come and they change your records. So if they change your records, you can find a difficult scenario where you cannot be able to balance your transaction. So it needs you to assign this particular given password to protect those particular given people from accessing those particular given files. But in this case, we cannot be able to assign this particular given password. So what we'll do, we just click next. When you click next now, it's time for you to save. When you want to save this particular given company, when you want to save this particular given company, you can be able to do it. To click next here. So when you click next, it will direct you where you want to save. Sometimes you can save on a desktop. When you want to save on a desktop, you click desktop. When you want to save in library, you click library. When you want to save on a PC mostly is the hard disk. You can also specify on a hard disk here. Then if you want to save on my network, you click what? Network. So in this case, when you want to save this particular given file, I can just specify what? This PC. When I click this PC, I will scroll down so that I see the local disks where I want to save this particular given file. So I'll just come and click local disk C. When I click local disk C, I can be able to click what? Company files here. When I click, I'll come and select what? The company file is for Intuit. So I'll scroll down here. I'll scroll, then I select Intuit here. When I select Intuit, now I can click what? Save. I can now click what? Save. When I save, I'll be able to do it. To click here? Yes, because it will need to ask for administrator password. So I just click save and the company will start to save. So you give it time to save so that you proceed to the next step. But in this particular given case, when it is saving, you need to be able to understand the location that you want to specify your company to be saved. So that if you want to access, you can easily access it at any time that you want. Still, you can be able to have a removable disk where you can be able to transfer this particular given company files so that you can access on other computers. Despite, even if you are not in the office, you can still analyze your business information when you are running this particular given business. So that's why we need to be very careful with the where you want to specify the files that you want to save in this particular given program. So in this case, we have decided to save in our local disk C. And this local disk C, you'll go and select what? Program files. After selecting program files is when you can be able to choose Intuit. Intuit is the company that runs the Quickbooks program. So it will be able to save those particular given files. So once they are here, now it will be able to save it. Now, once it saves it, it will be able to allow you also to click what? Next. When you look here, we have next. But this one, it is just customizing what you are dealing with in this particular given case. So when you see this particular given customization, now you can click next to proceed. Then it will ask you, what do you sell? When you see what do you sell, sometimes it will specify the type of activities that you are involving in. For example, if your business is dealing with services only, services, I hope we talked about them in the theory part. And we said, when you look at a service, these are types of products that are not stored in your warehouse. But when you order them, or when you are being given an order, you go and deliver, or you go and work with it, then you are being paid. So when you look at this particular given case, we have such as consulting, we have rental, we have gym, membership, we have hair styling services. So those are some of the services. When you look at this particular given services, they are not being stored, but people come and what? Pay for them so that you can be able to do for them. We have products. These are things that you can be able to store in a warehouse. Remember, we have said service, you cannot be able to store in a warehouse, but products you can be able to store in a warehouse so that they wait for exchange of money. So that's why they have given an example. We have lamps, we have fertilizers, we have books, we have hardware tickets, and so on. So anything that you can store in a hardware, we call it what? A products. Then we have both service and product. So you can be dealing with both of them now. For example, you can be delivering service and also selling the product. So you can be able to select this one. Maybe your business is dealing with what? Both service and what? Products. So once they are done, you can click next. When you click next, sometimes if you want to charge VAT is value added tax. So some organization or businesses, they need you to pay tax. If you are allowed to pay tax, you can select yes. But if you don't want to pay tax, you select what? No. When you select no, now you'll be able to, you not be able to pay tax for the government, or any product that you buy, you not be able to pay the tax. So that's why you can be able to select no. Once you select no, you can be able to click what? Next. So when you look at this particular given next, it will take you to next step. Like, do you want to create estimates in QuickBooks? Estimates are very important. For example, when some business refer to estimate as quotes or bids or proposals.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
I'm getting you.
Yes. Yeah. So when you look at this particular given case, if you are paying tax, we have said is when you can be able to select what? If you are paying tax, is when you can be able to select what? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, if you are paying, when you look at this particular given scenario, I've been saying, if you want to create estimates in QuickBooks are very important also, because they assist you to know the exact price, or you can easily guess what you want to do it. So when you guess those particular given prices, that's like when you create an estimate in that particular given QuickBooks. So when you select yes, you can click next. So when you click next, now you'll have tracking customer order in QuickBooks. So use a sales order to track customer order that you plan to fill at later date, such as what? Back orders or special orders. So this particular given tracking is very important, because anything that you carry out in business, you need to be able to track it. In manual business, you normally write receipts, but in electronic, like this in scenario of QuickBooks, you can select yes to track the records that you are doing in your business. Even if you want to write an invoice, it can assist you to track it so that you can be able to know the invoice that have been received and the invoice that have not been received. If you are doing transaction, you can be able to know which transaction have been received and which one has not been received. That's why we need to understand tracking customer order in in QuickBooks. So once you select yes, now you can click next. So from this particular given next, now you can we have using statements in QuickBooks. When you look at using statements in QuickBooks, statements are sent to customers to list. I've said statements are sent to customers to list charges accumulated over a period of time. So this particular given statements, they used to remind the customers to pay their bills that are due, and they need to repay in a specific period of time. So when you look at this particular given statements, they are very necessary in QuickBooks, because sometimes customers may buy things on credit and you want to remind them. So you can be able to remind by sending what? Using statement that can be able to remind them on when to pay those particular given bills that are pending. So that's why we need to indicate the using statement in QuickBooks by selecting yes. But sometimes if they are not interested with this particular given statement, you can select no, because sometimes most of the business prefer to use cash than on credit. So if your business is using cash form, you can select no. You don't want estimates. But if you don't want statements, but if it's not if it is dealing with both a cash and a credit, you can select yes, because you can remind your customers. So you can click next here. When you click next, now you can easily proceed to the next step, which is using progressive invoicing. When you look at this particular given statement, use progressive invoicing in QuickBooks. So if you invoice your customer based on the progress of a project, so sometimes can give that particular given customer to know the type of project that he need to involve in. So that's why we have some examples like flooring contractor bills of partial payment before a job begins. So when material are delivered and when the job is completed, now the consultant will be clear. So invoicing is like you write a quotation of what you want so that they can give you a half of that particular given money. Then you continue with the job. Then when you finish is when you'll be able to do it, to be cleared. So in other words, it's like doing a business for a person, maybe like on credit. Then once you finish, he or she pays you the money. Then when it comes to business, some people may come to your shop, then they order goods or products. When they order goods or products in your business, then they ask you to allow them to pay later. So when they ask you to pay, ask you to allow them to pay later, you can write for them an invoice, so that you can use that invoice to track which item did you sell to those particular given customers. So that's why we can prefer to use yes. Then you click next. Then we have, do you want to track like managing bills you owe? When you look at managing bills you owe, we have different types of bills that you can be able to manage. For example, when you look at this particular given bills, maybe you have not paid customers. It can be able to assist you to know which customer has not been paid. Then which money do you owe? For example, to other people, you can be able to understand. Then it remind you when bills are due. So sometimes when bills are in due, you can be able to clear by managing bills you owe in this particular given category. But we have also this particular given case. Now, when you want to select, do you want to keep track of the bills? Tracking of the bills is very important because you can know the time and the type of transaction that you carried out in a specific time or a specific day. That's why you need to be able to track. So that's why this particular given program is very simple. It directs you where you need to be able to select. But sometimes if you don't want to use those particular given scenario, you can now just select no. But in this case, we select yes because tracking of the bills is very important. If you don't track your bills, you may end up going at a loss. So you will click next. So we have also tracking stock in QuickBooks. When you look at tracking stocks in QuickBooks, it's very essential because sometimes you may end up selling goods or products until the warehouse remains empty and you are not aware. So it is good when you are using QuickBooks, you can be able to track the stock so that when stock are not there, it can remind you, you add a stock, or you add the stock in your warehouse. Assume maybe you are selling maybe like things like computers and you have the shelf for monitors. So when you look at monitors, the shelf is empty and people are requesting for the monitors. How will you be able to sell them? So when you are using manual QuickBooks or manual accounting, you look by eyes, but in QuickBooks, anything that you do is electronically. That's why tracking of the stock, it becomes very easy. If you assign that particular given case, Like, do you want to drag stock in QuickBooks? You select yes. Because if you say no, you can sell things that are out of the stock, So that's why you can select yes, then you click next. When you click next, also we have tracking time in QuickBooks. Time is mostly important because when you look at time, it can assist you to know when the bill was paid, and also sometimes when do you want to pay employees. So sometimes time is very important because when you want to work with those particular given bills that you want to pay, it will assist you when to pay the bills that you are owing to different parties in the business. Like if you have employees, we have given this scenario. If you have employees, you can be able to know when is the exact time to pay this particular given employee. So QuickBooks will be able to alert you on those particular given time tracking. Then do you want to track time in QuickBooks? So now you can select here. Yes, because without time, there's no way you can trace. Like if you are dealing in a simple business like M-Pesa, sometimes you can do a transaction to someone, and this particular given transaction, if you don't be able to record the timing that you did the transaction, it will be very hard for you to trace. Because mostly, if that particular given business, we have more customers. That's why this particular given ATM machine, when it generates the receipts, it generates with the time, so that you can be able to understand. Okay. Then you click what? Next. When you click next, now you can select yes. Do you want to create employees? You select yes. Yes. So when you select yes, now you can click next. Employees, these are other hand that you can use to create to assist you in your business. So that's why you need to be able to understand that in any business, if you have so many jobs opportunity, you need to also deploy employees to assist you in running that particular given business. But without employees, it will make your work to be very slow because there's no extra hand that you can use to do it, to manage your stock or to do transaction very fast. So we can select yes if you have employees, then you click next. When you click next, now you can also select, do you want to track multiple currencies in QuickBooks? You can select yes. Because sometimes if you are working in QuickBooks, we have different types of currencies that you can receive money. But in manual, you only receive in the Kenyan shillings that you want to work with. For example, if you are working with in Kenya, you only deal with Kenyan shillings. But if you are working in different countries, maybe have different, or if your business is for international, you'll need to get different money currencies. So if you want to get those particular given money currencies from different countries, you can select here. Yes. When you select yes, now you have select what? The home country. You can select Kenyan shilling, Kenyans. So you just type Kenya. You delete this one, then you type Kenya. When you type Kenya, now you'll be able to work in Kenyan what? Kenyan shillings. But if you don't deal with the multiple currencies, you just select what? No, like this. No. So you can be able to select no, then you'll be able to assign it. But already here we have assigned Kenyan shillings. So you can click here, view more currency. If you are not seeing Kenya here, you just click view more currencies. Then when you type Kenyan shillings here, you'll be able to see. We have a list here, which is Kenyan shillings. I hope you have seen it, Kenyan shillings. So you select. When you select now, you make it active. Then you click what? Next. When you click next, you can now click next again. Then you select the date to start your finance. Now you say beginning of this financial year, which is from the first date of July, or use today's date. If you are using today's date, I hope you know today is on 20th. So if it's on 20th, your business will start on July 20th, so that you can be able to use it. So you say beginning of this year, then you click what? Next. When you click next, you can be able to do it. To see, we have different features here. So this particular given features, you'll be able to interact with them as you continue. So once they're there now, we have also next. Then you can click what? Go to setup. When you go to setup, you can now click QuickBooks. Go to setup, you can now click, then you'll be able to see this particular given case. You'll see the Juliet ICT solution at the top there. Then we have file name, the menus here that you want to work with them. Then we have also some patterns here, which we call them the company profiles here. So when you look at this particular given scenario, you'll be able to embark on this one. So we have things like add people to your business, add products, add your bank accounts. So what you need to do, you just click start working here. When you click start working, now it will give you the layout of this particular given program. We call it what? QuickBooks. So when it gives you the layout of this particular given program, we call it QuickBooks. Now here is when you can start dealing with the different features. So these prompt windows that are opening here, you just need to close them. This particular given program that are appearing, you just click to close. So when you close now, is when you will be able to have the layout of this particular given program. I've said these windows that are opening, you can just close them so that you start using the QuickBooks programs when it is in this format. So this will be in the good position for you to be able to understand how you can be able to work in this particular given case of what? Managing bits, like if you are doing transaction here. So in a few minutes, I'll just record some features here so that you can be able to understand and so on. So let me pause a bit, but I'll still continue. Before I pause, you can now go to your computer. You can be able to run a program called QuickBooks. In the next 5 minutes, I'll be back. Okay?
Okay.
All about creating a company, now we have done with them. Now, when you look at this particular given layout, this layout mostly it gives you now what you need to do in this particular given program. That's why we have things like purchases, we have receive, we have enter bills, we have enter bills here also again. When people are buying through invoice, we have pay bills and so on. So before we can look at those particular given features, we have also what we call creating customers. When you want to create a customer, after creating the company, you need to understand that we have different things that you need to input into QuickBooks program. So the first thing that you need to understand, you need also to know how to create list of items. You need to understand how to create customers. And when you talk of list of items now is when you have here list. And list, now we have item list and so on. Then when you talk of customers, you'll come to customer column. You'll be able to see all information concerning the customer here. So all this information, they deals with the customer. We have also suppliers. Suppliers, all this one will work with what? Suppliers. We have employees. And we remember we selected yes when we were creating the company account profile. So when you select yes as an employee, you maybe if you have employees, if you select yes, now you'll come here and create the list of what? List of employees. Then in our theory part, I hope we looked at something called account. And account, when you are creating, you normally work with what? Account here. So when you click account, you'll be able to create several accounts. And this particular given accounts now they can also assist you to do it, to manage your bills, because we looked at types of accounts whereby we said we have income account, we have also expenses account. So all those types of accounts will be able to look at them if you are working under accounts. But for now, we will start with the first procedure, whereby we have said when you want to run the program, you need to know how to create the list of items, you need to add account, you need also to add your customers, you need also to add your suppliers, you need to have employees. Then from employees now is when you can be able to start transaction. So after doing transaction, everything that you want in business to transact, now you'll go to reports. You can be able to generate reports like you'll have company and financial. All these are reports that you can be able to generate. I hope on the other side you are seeing how my mouse is moving.
Yes, I'm seeing.
Yeah, so you'll be able to see reports here. Then you'll be able to see things like company and financial information. on your right hand side here. So we will start with the first procedure is how to create a customer. And when you are creating a customer, we have said earlier, you go to customer here. So these are steps to follow when you are creating a customer. When you click customer on the menu bar here, you can select customer center. When you click customer center, you'll be able to look at what? Some dialog box that will be able to appear here. So this particular given layout of window, you will select new customer. Are you saying new customer?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll select new customer, then you choose new. From this particular given list, you'll choose new customer. So when I click new customer, we have a dialog window that will be able to appear. So this dialog window, mostly it will ask me to do it, to enter in the details of the customer. So for me to enter details of the customer, I hope we have several customers that you want to fill in. So I'll come and click here. When I click, I'll come and type the customer name. Let us say we have Moses Hardware as the first customer, Moses Hardwares, like that. So when you select Moses Hardwares, every customer you need to assign what? An opening balance. Because without an opening balance, sometimes it becomes very hard for you to do business with that particular given customer. Because you cannot do business with someone who don't have money. So you come and put here maybe 10 million. 1, 2, 3, like this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 10 million. 10 million. Then the date that you want to start, you can start on 20th in this particular given category. You can start on 20th here, July 2022, 20th July 2022. Then when you come here also company name, you can just assign here maybe we have Moses what? Hardware. When you type Moses Hardware, you can be able to see. So sometimes when you are typing, you stick to grammar mistakes. If it's a name, you start with M, which is Moses. We have hardware, which is also a noun, hardware. So you can type hardware like that. Then we have full name. Then you can type Mr. When you type Mr., we have also Moses, like here, Moses. Then we have initial, you can put Moses M and so on. Then you put your last name, maybe Moses Joroke, like that. So when you type Moses Joroke, so this N you capitalize because it's a name of a person. Then we have job title. Job title, you can also put any job title. Maybe you can say this is what? Salesperson here. So you type S this sales person. Then you have also main phone number. You can put any number. Like here, I can use any case, like the phone number of this particular given customer. Maybe it is 0705 120 709 as the name of the customer. But sometimes you can assign the number of the customer. I'm just using this one because this is my number. If you want to access, maybe if it's online, you can easily link it with the number. But now, when I am working in the organization, I need to select the number of this particular given customer. So once they're done, I can also put another optional number, which is like 0705 120 709. So optional, you can easily assign any other number. I'm keen with the numbers because someone can contact, and if he may be able to find that it's a number from another person. So he may claim, maybe this is my work. So when you look at this one, you can easily still add other numbers as you continue. Then we have mail email. Since we are using Moses, so you can say Moses, maybe at gmail.com, like that. Then we have also CC, another person that can represent Moses. You can also assign the email here. Then we have also website. Maybe website is www.moses like this, www.moses.co.ke. Then we have also others that you want to input here. So this is the details. Remember, this one, it is under address. When you look at address, is when you deal with this information. Now we have payment setting. Payment setting, you can also work with what? The account that you want to assign. Like if you have an account, you can just assign it here so that you use it as an account. Then we have the payment terms. You can select the tax here. So if sometimes now you assign a tax rate, is when you can be able to assign it here. But we don't have the tax rate that you can be able to assign, because in the earlier procedure, we opened the company and we said we don't want to pay tax. So we cannot select here when we want to pay in tax. Then preferred payment method. We have a preferred delivery method. Sometimes if they deliver the goods, or if you sell for them goods, or if you want to write a notice, which you call it using statements, you can also write using what? Mail. Or if you don't want to use this, you can select no. So the best preferred, you can select mail. You can send a mail to that particular given person, then this particular given person can know if we have something that has been delivered. Then the preferred payment method for this customer, when he will be paying goods to you, you can select here. We have cash check, American Express, we have MasterCard, we have Switch Master, we have Visa Direct, and so on. So all these particular given features, you can be able to use. But now, since we are using this one, we can maybe select check. The person, the customer may be paying you through the check, the check. Then we have also some details of the credit card. Credit card, I hope you normally have a credit card. So this credit card, we have information that is on it, which you can be able to capture. So assume this customer has an ATM card where he can withdraw money. So you can put those details of that ATM in this particular given what? Boxes, so that if you have to transact, the information will easily reflect on those particular given ATM in an easier way, without that particular given person going through the bank to withdraw. So you just receive payment, then it can transact from that particular given ATM or a credit card that is using. So we have also the credit limit. If you want this person to buy things on credit limit, you can assign a credit limit. For example, you are not allowing this person to buy goods more than what? 10,000 won. So if you want to restrict the method of buying things on credit, you can assign here. So if 10,000 is here, it means what? This person is not allowed to buy goods or products that are more than 10,000. 10,000. So that's why we can assign the credit limit 10,000. But if you don't want, you can just remove, so that you work with free credit limit. But we have also price levels here. You can also still add. But this one, the most key that you need to add, I hope I have already filled them so that you can use it as an example. When you look at VAT setting here, after payment setting, we have VAT. VAT stands for value added tax. I remember I said VAT is mostly the type of what? Transaction that's mostly deducted from what you are buying, so that it goes to the government. That's why when you remember users of accounts, we have things like what? The government. We have those people like the government. Government, they are used to know how much are you making in your business, then they deduct their what? Their money. That's why we come with VAT. Then additional info here, we have additional, so we have customer type here. You can select maybe this customer type is what? Maybe wholesale or retail or referral. So you can just select wholesale. If we have representative, you can select representative here of the customer by just clicking what? Add. When you click add, you can click sales representative name here. You just add. Like here, you can add as an employee. Maybe this is an employee that can come and pick the items. So when you add, you can say, maybe we have what? We have the legal name, Mr. You can say maybe Mr. Geoffrey. Mr. Geoffrey, maybe what? Joe. Mr. Geoffrey Joe as an example. And I said you need to stick on grammar mistakes so that if you are typing names of people, you start with capital letter, Geoffrey. Geoffrey. Then we have Joe here. So that if you are printing the receipt will read with the no grammar mistakes, like that. So once they are done, we have also here, you can rectify, but already it's rectified automatic. Then you can also fill this information that one, we have date of birth. If the person is employed here, you can write maybe was born first, maybe February 1990 as an example. Then we have also marital status. Maybe the customer is the employee is single, so you select single. Or if employee is divorced, you select divorced, widow, or married. So assume employee is married. Then we have passport number. You can also assign it here. We have address, the address of the employee. We have also additional. We are going to look at employee in detail so that you can understand. But this one, we are just brushing through so that you can add another person that you want to assist the customer if the customer is not around. So once they're done, you just click what? Okay. When you click OK, you proceed without filling other transaction there. Then you click OK, like that. The joint date cannot be planned. So we need to assign the joint date. This particular given joint date, we have employee info. Joint date is here under employment info. So you can select maybe he joined maybe on 1st February 2019 as an example. Then once you click OK, then you click yes. Also here, you can also select maybe you may be able to live at maybe 1st June 2022, like that. So when they're done, you click OK. So we have employee address is missing. Do you want to correct this before continuing? You just say no. Then also, then NI number is in employee missing. Do you want to correct before? You say no. So this particular given information will be added automatically. Now you can click OK. Now you have the customer type, wholesale, then and so on. So we have representative here, which has been already assigned. When you click, you'll see it is Geoffrey Joe as an example. So they use initials to represent Geoffrey Joe as an example here. So once they're done with everything, now you can click what? Okay. When you click OK, you'll see the first customer has been already added there. So this particular given customer, we can also use it to transact with him the goods that we have. Another customer also you can still add. When you want to add the other customer, now you can click also new. When you click new, remember we said when you want to create customer, you say customer, then you go to customer center. But once they are here, you just click new, you select a new customer here. So when you select a new customer, you can select another customer as an example, maybe Leon as an example. Leon, maybe Leon Kamau as an example. So when you use this particular given example, you can put an opening balance, maybe 12 million or 1.2 million, 1, 2, 3, like that. So once they say the date still remains the same, then we have also address here info. Address info, you can also start with the company name. Maybe Leon, if it's the name of the company, you can add the name that this person is specializing with. For example, Leon Softwares. When you say Leon Softwares, now it will be Leon Softwares Limited, like that. Leon Softwares Limited. Then you can say Mr. Then you say maybe Leon. Then you say maybe Kamau, like that. Then Kamau. Then you can job title. Job title also is a customer. You can just say customer. Then we have also here another phone number. You can also put another number, which is also still mine. which is also still mine. So we don't want to use any number that can cause harm when we are doing this tutorial. So we have also another one. You can still use another number that you want to use, but depending with the type of customer, you may request the number of the customer if you don't have. So we have also this one, you can still fill them. We have email, still you can say leon@gmail.com, leon@gmail.com, like that, leon@gmail.com. If you have another email, you can still add website, you can still add others, and so on. So once they're done, you go to payment setting here again. So from address, you go to payment setting. When you go to payment setting, you can still add another account here, which we have account number. Then payment terms, you can also specify. Here I said, if you are assigned the tax rate, is when you can come and also select from this particular given list, but we are not working with tax rate. Preferred payment methods, you can select. This delivery method here, you can select maybe email and so on. Then preferred payment method here, you can also still select maybe cash and so on. So this detail, it contains details of the Visa card that this person is having. If he opened account, you can use that details of the Visa card or MasterCard that he's having to fill this particular given details. But if you don't have, just leave it blank. There's no effect on the program. So once they're done, we have credit limit here. The credit limit, this particular given credit limit, mostly it specifies the amount that this customer cannot be able to exceed if he's buying goods on credit. So you can easily assign maybe 2,000. The person cannot buy things that are not more than 2,000 on credit, because maybe the person is not able to pay. So you can specify the credit limit. If the limit reaches, now you stop doing transaction with that particular given customer. We have also what we call VAT. VAT already we have explained it. We have additional info. You can also choose the customer type here. Maybe it's written. You select written. If you have representative, you can add. I remember I said if you want to add, you click here, but you need to specify. If you want to add, is when you go to add, then you can specify maybe others. If it's employee, you select employee. If it's a supplier, you select a supplier. So you just select others as an example. Then you can type the name like Vivian as an example. Vivian. So after typing the name Vivian, like that. So you can choose company name, you can specify all this, you can use them. But if you don't want to use, you just click OK. So this person will be added, then you click OK. So the assistant of this Leon is Vivian. So you select from this particular given list. So when they're done, job info, if you don't have any information concerning job info, there's no need of selecting here, but still you can add maybe customer. You can just type the customer, then you can also choose job title, maybe commercial, then job status. So sometimes if the person is not with you in terms of business, you can select pending. If it's still in there, we have in progress. We have also sometimes you can give gifts to the customers at the end of business financial year. You can decide to award your customers the most purchased customers. So you have awarded. We have closed. Closed, if this person maybe died, you are no longer with that particular given person, you can select closed. Or if the person collapsed in terms of business. So sometimes you may be running a business and then you change your mind. So if you change your mind, you exceed the business. So that person will treat it as closed. It's no longer in that particular given business and so on. So all these features you can easily assign. But if you assign pending, there's no way you can do transaction. This customer may be existing, but is in the not list of what the major customers that you want to work with them. We have also start date, the date that you started, then projected date that you'll be able to finish the contract with that particular given customer. And then we have entered exactly. You can easily specify it here. So once they're done, everything from address, payment setting, we have VAT setting, additional join. Now is when you go and click what? Okay. So when you click OK, now you'll have done with the creating of the customers here. So the customers we can use two. as our example. When you use to, it will make us to be easier to transact with the different customers here. So this particular given customers, maybe if you want to edit information, you can still right click. Is when you can go to edit customer job. If you want to edit customer job, you click, it will bring you back to this particular given dialog box where you can be able to edit information that you want. But if you don't want, you just leave them the way they are. I've said if you want to edit anything on them, you right click, then you choose edit what? Customer. If you want to create, if you want to delete, everything is here. So you just read what you want from this drop down list. So this drop down list, mostly it has all information that you want to work with them. So I hope this one, now you are done with customers. So if you go to another feature, you can now still close here. We have the top X and below X here, or bottom X. So you just click this one, then you go back to the program. So once they are here now, we have also, after creating customers, we can also create suppliers. Mostly suppliers, these are people who supply goods to your business. Without these people, there's no way you can get the products that you are selling. So you need to to create the customers also. And then you create a supplier. So suppliers still use the same procedures for customers, but now this one, you click supplier, then you choose supplier center here. When you choose supplier center here, it will bring for you the dialog box where you will be able to enter the details. But for you to enter details, you'll first click new customer here. So we have new customer after clicking customer center. When you click new customer, you'll be able to see new. So you choose or you will select new. When you select new, now you come and click what? Supplier name here. So this supplier name, you can say the supplier name, we can say Hillary, maybe what? Also hardwares, Hillary hardwares. As an example, hardwares. Then you can, don't put opening balance to customers because this is the money that you'll be owing them. So in customers, we normally put opening balance, but in suppliers, we don't put. So what you'll do, you'll go to company name. Company name, it will be Hillary, maybe hardwares, maybe limited. Hillary hardwares limited. Then you can select it, Mr. Then you choose Hillary. After selecting Hillary, now you can select Hillary, maybe Otieno. That Hillary Otieno. Is it Otieno or Atieno? Otieno is for female or for male?
Otieno is for men. Otieno is for men.
Male. Yeah, let us work with Otieno. Then we have job detail. Job detail we have also here. Maybe supplier. You can just put supplier. That. Then we have phone. You can also assign the phone, like 0705 120 709. Remember, I'm using this phone because it's mine. I cannot use it for different people because of what? Patents of what? When we talk of copyrights, you need to be able to specify where you code the number. So sometimes it's very case sensitive if you're using the phone number. Don't just guess the number. Make sure you know the number of the supplier. Then we have also, you can also add the work phone like this, 07 like 05120 709. Then we have also mobile and so on. Then we have this one, email, main email. You say Hillary like this at gmail.com like that, Hillary at gmail.com. So when you write the Hillary at gmail.com now, you will also enter other details that are needed here. But I hope I've explained the detail as used in customers. Now you go to payment setting. After going to payment setting, you have also the account. You can be able to type this particular given account here. So after typing the account, payment methods, the way you want to pay this particular given supplier, you can be able to select. But this one mostly it's preferred when you are working with the tax. If tax is assigned, you can choose this one. Then we have account name. Maybe this particular given account name is for Hillary Otieno. So you just write Hillary Otieno like that. This is an example. Then we have sort code, you can also specify and so on. Sort code is like Swift code. Every bank, it normally have its own code that you can use to swift money from one account to another. So you can choose account name, account number, like we have said here at the top. You can just go and copy this one, you copy, then you come and paste it here. So like in that particular given case, you make it easier for you to work. Credit limit is the amount that you can use when you want to limit this person to exit. For example, you can put a specific amount that you want to use, and this specific amount, it will be very easy. It will be very easy for you to be able to use. So in this case, you can be able to do it, to use different scenarios. Then we have the billing and so on. Then we have VAT, then we have account, we have account, you can be able to do it, to specify account setting. If this particular given person has account, you can also specify the account that you will be able to receive the money with, but already we have used the Hillary hardware here. Then we have also other information here that you can be able to use, but this one you'll be able to create account that will be able to pay for this particular given plan. So remember, at earlier we created the account called Hillary Otieno, and we assigned the account number. So that account number is when you will be able to use to receive money from this particular given what? To receive money from you. So suppliers mostly receive money from the business that he or she supplies the goods. So that's why we need to create the account for this Hillary. Then we have also additional information. You can also add a supplier type. Maybe you can say consultant, we have supply providers, we have suppliers and so on. So you just say suppliers as an example. So once you are done with everything from address, payment, VAT, account, and this one, nice. When you can select what? Okay. So when you select okay, now this particular given customer will be added automatically. I can still repeat with another example. I have said when you have to create a supplier, this supplier, you click here, then you will select supplier. So from supplier center is when you'll be able to see this dialog box. Now you can select new customer, new supplier, then you choose what? New supplier here. So when you click new supplier is when you can come here. We say we have another supplier called Cosmos. As an example, Cosmos is a supplier, maybe Cosmos Kamau as an example. Cosmos Kamau, I've said don't assign the opening balance, but you need to be very keen with the date that this particular given business is opening. Then from there you can go to company name. So Cosmos mostly is dealing with what? Cosmos is dealing with software. So you can say Cosmos Softwares as an example. Softwares from this scenario, and then you select full name. You can select full name to be what? Full name to be Mr. See, Cosmos, Mr. Cosmos, Mr. Cosmos. We have Cosmos Kamau as that. Then job title, supplier still, supplier still. Then we have main phone. You can put the phone. The way I've explained, this phone we cannot put someone else's phone. We need to stick with the copyrights of the business that most of the people involved in. Then we have also mobile. You can also fill the email. You can say Cosmos, maybe 1@gmail.com. So you say Cosmos1@gmail.com like that. Then from there now you can also add these ones. But if you have this information, you can still add. But what I've keyed in is the most preferred that you can be able to use. So once they're there, you can be able to use that particular given scenario. So from this now scenario, we have also payment setting. Payment setting, you can assign the account. Account here, it can be in that format. We have also payment terms. We don't have any terms that we need to assign here because we have not assigned the VAT taxes. Credit limit, the amount that this customer can purchase to that extent. We can assign this specific amount so that when that amount reaches, he cannot continue buying again other goods from your business. So there's no way you can easily assign it. But now remember, this is a supplier. Supplier mostly supply goods to your business. So you need to be very keen when you are assigning credit limit. If you will be creating invoice or you'll be paying goods on credit, you will not exceed that figure. So you need to be very keen. So once they're done, we have VAT. VAT already we have explained, but most of the companies can easily give you the VAT registration number so that you use it for the payment of the VATs. Account setting, you can still set accounts here. We have additional for supplier tab here. You can just select maybe suppliers. Then you click what? Okay. So you only click OK if you are done with the address information, payment, VAT, account, and the additional info. So you can be able to click OK. So you will have two customers here. The first, not customers, you will have two suppliers. The first supplier is Cosmas Kamau. The second supplier is Hillary Hardware and so on. So Hardware is the second name. So that's why we say Hillary Hardwares. But sometimes you can also still what? Use another name despite hardwares. So from this particular given case, now you have known how to create the customer and suppliers. When you know how to create customer and suppliers, it becomes very easy. Now the remaining part is how to create the accounts. We have accounts here. And remember, yesterday we talked about how to create accounts for the business. So when you have to create this account, mostly you go to account, you select what? Account center. Account center. When you select account center now, it will take you to the account. So this dialog box, you can just click. I've said you click account. Instead of going to account center, remember customers and suppliers used to go to customer center and supplier center. But for accounts, you will click account, then you choose chart of account. You will select chart of account. Are you getting?
Yes, I'm getting.
Yeah, you will select chart of account. When you select chart of account, so from this drop-down list here, we have a pattern here which we have seen, which is account. So you click here, you'll see new. So when you see new, automatically is how you can create a new account now. So you select this. When you select, we have different types of accounts here. I hope these accounts we explained in our last lesson. We said income mostly is used to manage the transaction. Expenses is used to manage all the transactions that are doing into the business. For example, if you are paying bills, you can use expense account to pay the bills. If you are paying employees, you can use an expense account to pay employees. We have also fixed assets. If you have to create account for fixed assets, you can also use that. And remember, we said about an asset. An asset is things that are owned by the business. They can generate a profit for more than what? 1 year into the business. So that's why we say fixed assets. We have bank. If people want to pay or you want to pay through bank, you can use bank account to create for them this particular given bank account. Loan, mostly if you want to borrow loan, sometimes you can create a loan account so that you can be able to give loans or to borrow loans from this particular given account. Credit card, equity, mostly equity is for cash. If you have cash, you can use equity to create cash account when you want to create. So in business, you can either have two money form, either cash or equity. So the only preferred type of account here that we can use as an example, you see the income, the bank here, account, and the equity. So this is the preferred account that you can be able to use for this period. So we can start with the first one. I've said you can select bank. So since you are working with bank, you can use bank to pay petty cash and so on. Also for saving, when you look at this here, these are services that you can use in bank account. We have petty cash. Petty cash, these are things that come on the way when you're running the business. We call them applications and you cannot skip them. So that's why you need to assign the petty cash. We have current, we have saving, and money market. So once you select the bank, you'll go and click what? Continue here. So you select continue. When you select continue now, you'll be able to do what? To choose account name. Account name mostly is the type of account that you want to create. So this particular given account, since we are working with the Juliet ICT solution, so you can say Juliet, as an example, Kawaii Juliet, I've forgotten your second name, but I can still use any other name. So Juliet, we have Kavai as an example. Then we have also the currency type or rate we assigned it to be a default. We have description. You can say maybe which is optional. Already you are saying optional. You can write or you don't write on it. So you can say Juliet as an example, Juliet account. Juliet account for saving. Like this. Juliet account for saving. Then we have a bank account number. You can assign the account number that you want to use. Then you need to specify the opening balance. You click here. When you click, you can put here, maybe Juliet account has 100 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. Then the date to start, it was on 1st, and so on. Then once they're done, you click what? Okay. So from there now, once they're done, if you have this information, like account holder name, which is what? Juliet, like that. Juliet, have apply like that. Then all this you can fill, but if you don't want, don't concentrate on this one. The most key preferred this is the one that you can pay attention, and the opening balance. Opening balance is a must. If you don't put opening balance, you will not get money to pay your workers or your suppliers. So you need to indicate the opening balance. So once you're done, you click what? Save. So you'll come and click save and close. So that account will have been created. I hope when you see in the list of account there, we have the first account, which we call it Juliet Kawai, then a bank. So you can see the opening balance, which you see 100,000. This is 100,000, 100 million, which is your opening balance in your account. So also when you want to create another one, I've said you can click what? Account. You go to chart of what? Chart of account. Then you can select account, you choose new. So from this new is when you can now select equity. Equities for cash. So sometimes this is the money that you have on the counter. You can give it as a change, or you can use it to buy goods in the business. So you can click continue. When you click continue, when you click here continue now, you can be able to continue by typing here account name. Account name. So account name equity. Still it is Juliet. Juliet, it was for bank. Also, we can assign it to be for cash. So Juliet Kabai as an example. Then you can enter here, maybe cash account. Cash account, like that. Then you have this one. Enter opening balance. So you can open like you have 200 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you have this one, the date that you opened, it is on 1st. Then okay. When you click OK, now you can just click save and what? Save and close. Then since it is existing, now you can twist Juliet Kavai, maybe Joroke as an example. Juliet Kavai Joroke or Juliet Kavai 2, account 2. Then you click what? Save and close. Save and close. But you can use different names for different accounts, depending on the way you want the account to appear. So this is equity, Juliet Kavai 2, equity, which is 200 million, and so on here. So once they are done with creating accounts, you can create several accounts depending on the type of your business. But I've only preferred to use 2, which is bank and cash. But you can also create expenses account, which you can use to pay your employees. Then also with the types of services that will be provided in your business. But for this particular given scenario, I have only used 2 accounts, which is for bank and for cash. But still, if you want to edit, you can still right click here. Then you can be able to see edit account, or you can still delete. You can still make it account inactive. If it's inactive, you cannot withdraw or deposit money in that account. That's why we say make account inactive. Then from this particular given scenario now, you close this button, you close this button. So when you close the button, automatically now you have done account, we have customers, we have suppliers, and so on. Now we have list of items. list of item. The list of item, when you want to create an item list, you will come and click what? List. Are you seeing the column for list?
Yes.
Yeah, we have list here. Remember, we are done with account. Account, we set chart of account. Suppliers, we set supply center. Customers, we set customer what? Center. So you choose what? List. When you choose list, you will go and click item list, not chart of account. Item list.
Item.
Yeah, you choose item list. When you choose item list, now you'll come and click here. You choose what? New. Are you seeing new?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll choose new. So when you choose new, you'll be able to do what? To specify the type of what? Item. Remember yesterday we talked about service, we talked about stock part, we talked about stock assembly, non-stock, other charge, subtotals, group, discount, and payment. Those types of items we talked about them when we were looking at items. And now here we can now start with what? Stock part. Stock part, these are things that are stored in your warehouse for you to exchange with the money. So we can select stock part, but also we will use another example for service as we continue with our class. So we have stock part here. The stock part, mostly when you click on it, it will be able to bring for you this dialog box here that you are seeing here. So this dialog box, now it needs you to enter the item name. Item name, now since you are dealing with maybe ICT solutions, now you need to name item for ICT. If you are dealing with maybe hairdressing, you name items for hairdressing. So we can select here, maybe we have things like what? System unit. If someone is buying system unit, you select system unit, then you go here, the cost of system unit here, the cost of system unit. But before you go to cost of system unit, remember also we have other things here. If you, system unit, we have subcategories, like we have core I1, so is when you can be able to add here. But if you don't have sub items, you are just selling general system unit, you just leave it the way it is. But now here you can also specify system unit core I1, core I2, core I3, and so on. Also core I5 or core I7. Those are types of system unit that you can put other sub item. Then we have manufacturer part number. Manufacturer part number is any number that you assign there. It can be maybe A11 as an example. So this is the first part, A11. Then we have cost. The cost here, you can say, if you are buying a system unit at 4,000, now you want to sell it at what? 10,000? 10,000, like that. So that's how you can sell the system unit. The cost here, and then the selling price, so that you can make a profit. Then preferred supplier. Remember we said the types of supplier, it will go with the type of item. So this particular given supplier, since the system unit is a hardware, you will select that supplier for hardware. So we have Hillary hardware. Hillary what? Hardware. Then we have this particular given account, income account here. Income account is the account that we will use to pay this particular given supplier. So you'll come and select here. And remember, we have already created account. So those accounts, we can say Juliet. Remember, Juliet 1, it was for bank, and Juliet 2, it was for what? Cash. Juliet 1, it was for bank. Juliet 2, it was for bank. So you select Juliet 1 for bank. Then how many system unit do you want? Is when you put on hand. On hand, it will be, maybe you are buying what? 20 system units at once. So when you put 20, this is the total number of system units that you have in your stock. So total that you need to spend, it will be 80,000, 80,000. Then once you are done now, you click OK here. But if you want to go to next, you select what? Next. You just click next. Yeah. So when you click next, you'll come and add another item here. So we have things like what? Maybe monitor. have also monitor. When you say monitor, you select batch number to be A112. Remember the first one, it was A111. Now this one is A112, the second batch. Then you can select the cost here. Cost, maybe you are buying a system monitor at 3,000. Then you sell it at what? 7,000? 7,000. Yeah. Then we have preferred supplier. Still, it is what? Hillary Hardware. Then account here that you will use to pay is Juliet Kavai. Then we have this one here. So this on hand, it will be what? Maybe body, maybe also 30 monitors. So in total, you will spend 90,000 to buy those monitors. Then you select next. Are you seeing next?
Yes.
We have okay, cancel next. So you select next here. Again, you will come and input another item. Maybe if you want softwares now, we can put a software like what? Windows. Maybe you want to buy Windows what? Windows 10. Windows 10. 10 is our software which is used to format the computer. So Windows 10, you can assign it as a maybe 113, patch number 3. If we have also sub items here, you can also assign for Windows 10. Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows C, and so on. Maybe you wanted to buy the Windows. You wanted to buy the Windows. Wanted to buy the Windows. Wanted to buy the Windows. So you come and what? You come and select the Windows here. You come and select the Windows. Then the categories here. So you can be able to select. Then we have cost. Cost, you can put it to what? You can put it to be, maybe you are buying a window at what? 2,000. Then you can sell that window at what? Maybe at 4,000. So when you sell it at 4,000, now you'll be able to know the profit in between. Now we have the preferred supplier. Remember we said the one that deals with what? The one that is dealing with software is Cosmas Kamau. So you select Cosmas Kamau. Then you want how many windows? Maybe you want like 10 windows. Then you come and click here. You'll see in total you need to spend 20,000. 20,000. So remember this total cost, it's calculating for buying price, not selling price. Selling price. It's calculating for buying price here. So once you're done everything now, you click OK. Yeah. Once you are done with everything here, now you click what? OK. So we will click OK. Now you'll see the list of items in this particular given drop down list here that you are seeing here. So we have this one, Windows. We have also system unit. We have monitor. So once they're done, you close again. So in our today's class, we looked at how to create the company profile. Already we have created the company profile. How to create list of items. Items, we said you click here, you choose item list. Then also we said when you want to add an account, you can click account, you select chart of account. If you want to add company, not company, you want to add customer, you click customer, you choose customer center. Then if you want to add supply, you click supply, you add supplier center. So from this particular given tutorial of today, we will be able to understand those features so that we meet in the next class. Next class, it will be how to create what? Employees. Then after creating employees, how you can be able to make purchases and how you can be able to receive and how you can be able to pay the bills here. Then from there now, how you can be able to create sales and how you can be able to receive payment, then how to record the deposit. Then from there now, how we can be able to view reports here. So I hope tomorrow it will be a nice class. So you should be prepared very early so that we start very early also. So from this particular given concept, I'll stop there unless if you have a question you can ask before I end my meeting. Any question that you have?
I don't have a question.
So far we are starting at exactly 9.
Okay.
We will start at 9. So be prepared, as from 9, I will have already sent you the invitation for you to join. If it is latest 9:30, we should be already in the meeting. So in between 9 and 9:30, you should be prepared so that you can start that particular given meeting. So far, my class or my lesson will stop there. When we meet tomorrow, we will start on what? We will start on employees, then how to create purchases, how to receive pay in stock, how to pay the bills, then how to create sales, receive payment, and also record deposit. But tomorrow I'll try to summarize so that when you understand this, now this one will be the core of Quickbooks, and then you can be able to run any Quickbooks program that comes in different version. So have a nice day.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. So let me stop.
Okay.